जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter number 3, verse 25. Prayers of Mother Devaki to Sri Krishna in the prison house. So in the previous sloka we read how she prayed to him that he is Vishnu, the Adhyatma Deepa, the lamp of transcendence, and he had all these characteristics which you find in various schools of philosophies. So he has all of them, but he is more than that. So now in this she continues to pray to him. नष्टे लोके द्विपरार्धावसाने महाभूतेष्वादिभूतं गतेषु व्यक्ते व्यक्तं कालवेगेन याते भवानेकः शिष्यते शेषसंज्ञः. सो भवान एकः अशेषसंज्ञः शिष्यते. That you are the one who remain. You are known as Shesha Sangya or Ashesha Sangya, both are possible by Sandhi Vicheda. So when is it? When Dviparardha Avasane Loke Naste. When at the end of Brahma's lifespan, which is called Dviparardha, all the Mahabhutas have entered into their Tanmatras, and that has entered into Ahankara, and Ahankara has entered into Avyakta. Why it happens? Kala Vegena Yate, by the force of time. So Kala Vipasti Bhutani. Kala is the one who cooks everyone the way he likes. Some he cooks nicely, some not so well, some half cooked. So, but at the end of the Dviparardha, at the end of Brahma's lifespan, he cooks everyone completely. But he still remains. That is, therefore he is called Shesha. So the meaning is that everyone is afraid of Kala, everybody is afraid of time, because time is beyond anyone's control, and it is always bringing a change which ultimately culminates in death. There are 6 vikaras described in the Nirukta: Asti, Jayate, Varte, Parinamte, Pakshiyate. So all these happen because of time, Kala Vega. But Kala does not have influence on Krishna, although he says that he is also Kala, Kalosmi, Lokshakrit Prabuddha. So when he says his time, means energy is also, time is also his energy or his action, as it will be described here. There are two ways the time is described in Bhagavatam. In some places it is described as his Shakti, and here Devaki describes him as time as his Chesta in the next sloka. Chesta mahu chestate yena vishwam. So in any case it is under his control, just as our chestas, our actions are under our control, or our energies are under our control. So therefore it does not influence him. He is kalatita, beyond time. So therefore he does not have the fear of time. Yes.
Can I ask you a question here? What is exactly the difference between Shakti and Chesta? Because both are quite similar. Like if I have some Shakti or if I do a Chesta, so with my Shakti only I do a Chesta.
But you may not do. You can have Shakti and not act on it. Right? Some people have Shakti but they don't act on it. So there is a difference. So kincha Mahapralaya api avshishyamanas tav kuto bhayam ityah. So he says moreover, so why is he making all these statements? These are all related with fear, which is now all pervading on earth planet. Because of corona there is so much fear. So even Krishna's mother is fearing. But her fear is different. Her fear is out of love, and our fear is out of death. So everybody has fear in the material world because of material body. Bhayam ditya abhinivestasya. The root cause of all fear is this material body, or rather identification with it. So as long as we identify with it, there is fear. But her fear is out of love for Krishna, and it will be explained. So this is transcendentally emotion manifest out of love. So she says that you have no fear because the greatest fear is the fear of death. So she is saying that you do not die even at the time of Mahapralaya. Right? There are 4 types of pralaya. So Nitya Pralaya, Naimittik Pralaya. So death is also one of the pralaya. Mukti is also pralaya. So he remains even in Mahapralaya when everyone dies. So therefore he says Kincha Mahapralaya api avshishyamanas tav kuto bhayam. Where is the question of fear for you? Because you remain, you survive even the Mahapralaya. So nashte charachare loke mahabhuteshu line sati. So nashte means to become unmanifest. So nash dhatu means adarshana. Nasha adarshana dhatu. Because nothing is really destroyed. It's only change of form. Name and form, that's what they change. Right? Vedanta Paribhasha. Asti bhati priyam rupam. So adyatraya brahma rupam. Jagat rupam tato dvayam. So this name and form are the Jagat Rupa, means they are temporary. They keep on changing name and form. So that is what is called Nasha. When we say something is destroyed, means its name and form has changed. So Ghata Nasha, Ghato Nasta, Pato Nasta. Nashta. Nashta means its form is changed. And then it's no more a ghata or a pata. So what happens at that time? That charachare loke, all these people, chara and achar, movable, immovable. So mahabhuteshu line sati. So they become absorbed in the mahabhutas. Teshu api adibhuta adibhutam ahankaram gateshu. And then they go back to ahankara. Right? From ahankara comes tanmatra. So Panch Mahabhutas go into the 5 tanmatras, and tanmatras go to ahankara. And tasmin api ahankare vyaktam pravishte sati. So that also goes into mahattattva. Tasmin api vyakte mahattattve avyaktam pradhanam prapte sati. And then that goes into mahattattva, goes into pradhana. So then eko bhavan eva shishyate. So pradhana means that this is the resting place, right? Nidhana, pradhana. So eko bhavan eva shishyate avishishto bhavati. Only you remain. पूर्व श्लोकोक्त लक्षणम भवत एकस्यैव रूपम ज्योति सत्ता मात्रम च शिष्यते. So in the previous sloka he was called satta matra, pure existence, and jyoti, effulgence. So he sustains, he remains. Satta matram cha shishyate iti सपरिवार स्थान परिच्छदस्य एव तस्य नित्यत्वम अभिप्रेत. So he stays along with his family, place, and his ornaments, parichada, dress, etc., because they are all eternal. अतः शेष संज्ञः शेष नाम शिष्यते इति व्युत्पत्त्या भवान शेषति. So therefore you are called Shesha. So you can call a Shesha means complete, and Shesha means what remains. So both ways. So that is the derivational meaning of the word Shesha, who remains. Then what is this Kala, about which everyone is afraid? Because in the previous it says Kala Vegya nahi aate, right? So what is the Kala? Is it independent of you? If it is independent, then it can also give you some trouble sometimes. So in the previous verse, everything was described by the force of time, all this pralaya. So what exactly is this time that is being described here? So yoyam kalastasya te vyakta bandho cheshta mahu cheshtate yena vishwam nimeshadirvat saranto mahiyan tam tve shanam shkema dhama prapadhe. So tva ishanam kshema dhama prapadhe. I surrender, I take shelter of you, who is Ishana, the controller and the abode of auspiciousness. So how are you? You are Avyakta Bandha. So you are the friend of Avyakta, that is that Prakriti or Pradhana. Because it says everything goes into Prakriti. So Prakriti is supported by him, remains under his shelter. He is the one who supports it, contains it, will also propagate it to change again. So this Kala, what is this Kala? Kalas tasya te cheshta mahu. So this Kala is your cheshta, your action, your movement, and cheshtate yena vishwam, and by this kala then everything moves. So kala is your movement, and then kala moves everything. So kalayati iti kala, which makes everyone move or change, or which destroys everything, that is called kala. So what is this kala? He says nimeshadi vatsaranto mahiyam, that it starts from nimesha, goes up to vatsara, year. So these are various divisions of time. So time is only one, but the divisions are made for our own vyavahara, practical dealing in life. Otherwise it's just one. So just as Akasha is one, but we make divisions through the upadhis, and then we divide Ghatakasha, Patakasha, Matakasha. But it is still one only, like that time is also one, direction is also one, right? Dekh eko vibhuvicha, it is one, all pervading. Time is also one, all pervading. Akasha is also one, all pervading. So, but it has all these divisions. Like directions, we make so many divisions, east, west, north, but there is no something fixed east or west. So kalavegena ityuktya prapta kalasyapi swatantriyam variyanti sarvabhishnaat kaladapi yad bhayam nasti tatra hetumah. So since in the previous sloka it was said kala vegena yate, so then it looks like as if time is independent. So she denies that in this sloka, that time is not independent. Swatantriyam variyanti. And although it is instilling fear in everyone, sarva bhishanat, right? It's causing fear to everybody. But you do not have fear even from the time. Kaladapi yad bhayam nasti. Why is that? What is the cause that you do not have fear from time? So he says, because it is under you. It is your cheshta. Yoyam sarva samharakah kalaha tamapi tasya tav cheshta mahu. So this kala also is only your cheshta. So although no one else can control it, but kala remains under your control. Although no one can become free from the influence of time, but it does not influence you. He avyakta bandho prakriti pravartaka. So she is calling him as avyakta bandhu. Avyakta is prakriti, the primordial nature, and bandhu means you are his instigator. You are the one who make the prakriti act. Right? That's in Sankhya, that's the problem. The classical Sankhya, they accept Prakriti and Purusha as two independent. But Purusha is inactive, all the conscious. Prakriti is active. So how do they meet? Because they say that Prakriti and Purusha come together. But how do they come together? Prakriti is inactive. Doesn't have any consciousness. So why would it meet Purusha, and Purusha cannot move? That's when they say that Prakriti is blind and Purusha is lame. So Purusha is moving because of Prakriti, and Prakriti is conscious because of the Purusha. But how do they come together in the first place? So that's why you need Mahapurusha. So it is because of Avyakta Bandhu that Prakriti functions. So that's why he translates Avyakta Bandhu as Prakriti Pravartaka.
Babaji, which commentary are you reading?
We've been reading Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary.
Okay.
That's the only one we have been reading from the beginning. So, yoyam sarva samharaka kalah tamapi tasya tav cheshtam ahu. So, in this kala, what is the characteristic of kala? Sarva samharaka. So, samhara has two meanings. One is killing, right? Samhara also means collecting. There is a famous play called Veni Samhara. Means tying the braid. Because Draupadi said, I will tie my braid only. She took that vow when she was insulted in the assembly of the Kauravas by Dusasana. So this play is called Veni Samhar. Samhar means putting together. So Kala also is that. It collects, everything comes back. Sametana, in Hindi says samet. Like, get everything in one place. So the Kala also does that. At the time of Mahapralaya, he gets everything in one place. That is also Samhar. So Sarva Samharaka means brings everything together. All people in one place. Right? Everything which is now expanded all comes in one place. All the jivas together. So that is also Sarva Samharaka. So that is the characteristic of Kala. So tamapi tasya tava cheshtam ahu. So that is also considered as your cheshta. It is your action. So in other words, Kala is not some independent entity. So that's why in some philosophies, Kala is not counted as separately. Right? हे अव्यक्त बंधो प्रकृति प्रवर्तक येन त्वचेष्टा रूपेण कालेनैव विश्वं चेष्टते. And this Vishwa, this material world is functioning only because of Kala. So it is the time energy which is making it function. So all the changes which are happening, it's only because of the time. And that time is rooted in Krishna. So Saeva Kala Kaha. So what is this time? Tatraha Nimesha iti. That it starts from Nimesha. Nimesha is the time we take by blinking of the eyes. So in the olden days, the measurements were all related with natural things. They do not have standards like you have now. So whether it is time or weight or length, they were all related like that, like Krosha, which they call now as 2 miles, and just shouting. Krosha means to shout. So people could shout 2 miles. That was the maximum. So that's where it became Krosha. So Mahiyan, it is great punar vatsaraavritya dviparardha rupa. So it goes into cycle, avritti, and culminates in dviparardha, 2 halves of Brahma's life. And then it stops. Then it starts again, the cycle. Tva tvam prapadye यथा त्वं निर्भय तथैव स्वमात्रं मामपि निर्भयां कुरु इति भाव. So she says that I take shelter of you. So taking shelter of you, the implication is just as you are fearless, so make me also fearless. So if you take shelter of Krishna, you become fearless. Right? That's what it says. Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam bhaja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishyami ma suche. Do not lament, do not fear, take my shelter. So that is the only solution for fear. There is no other solution. Otherwise fear will always be there. So he is the only person who is fearless, and one who takes his shelter also becomes fearless. So this is the solution which he is giving. So there is a statement by Lord Ramchandra, Tavasmi iti sakrideva prapanno siti yachate Sohim tam dadami iti vratam mama. That if someone comes and tells me once I belong to you, I surrender to you, then I give abhaya to such a person. This is when Vibhishan came to take shelter of Bhagavan Ram, and everybody thought that he may be a spy. So Sugriv, Angad, everyone said, be careful, his enemy is brother. So then Lord Ram said that Sakrideva Prapanno Asmi. So anyone who says like this even once, then I make him fearless. So that's what she is implying here. Tam Tvaishanam Kshema Dhama Prapadya. So I take shelter of you, and you are Kshema Dhama. You are abode of all auspiciousness, which means that then I will have no fear from anything.
Parvati Maharaj,
Yes.
these upadhis of Kala, are they also Anadi?
Anadi? Why Anadi? Why you think they are Anadi?
Isn't the cycle repeats itself from that perspective?
Yeah, but when there is Mahapralaya, then there are no upadhis. They begin at the time.
That Kala is just unmanifest?
Yeah, because there is nothing to work on. Because upadhis are ultimately dependent on the movement of sun. Right? For us, what is the upadhi of time? Divisions of time. How do you divide time? By the movement of the sun and moon, earth. So now there is no sun, no earth, where is the upadhi? How will you divide? And who is going to divide? Human beings, they are not manifest. So they go through cycles. That way you can say. But just as this creation had a beginning, this particular creation is not Anadi, the cycles are Anadi. But not this specific creation. It had an Adi and Anta. Bhutva Bhutva Pralayate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So the upadhis are also like that. Anything else?
Thank you, Lord.
So now verse number 25. मर्त्यो मृत्युर्व्याल भीत पलायन लोकान सर्वान निर्भयम नाध्य गच्छत Tvatpadabjam prapya drichadya swastha shrete mrityurasmadapaiti. So, mrityu vyala bhita palayan. So, everyone has this fear of death. This is the primary fear. And then on the basis of this, there are other fears. Fear means that feeling that I'm going to lose something which I have. That's what gives fear. If I possess something and I get a feeling that I will lose it, then I become fearful. If I have attachment to it, if I'm not attached, maybe something I don't like, then if I lose, that's fine. But possessing means in a positive frame of mind, means possessing it in a likable manner. We may also possess something which we don't like, right? We may possess some sickness, but we are happy to give it up. It goes away. So, Mrityu is the ultimate loss, because we lose everything what we consider to be our possessions. Whatever we possess, we lose that at the time of death. At other times we may be losing some things. We may lose our money, job, place, house, some friend, relative. But death means you lose everything. Right? So therefore it is the sum total of all losses. And therefore it is the biggest fear. So when we lose something else, then we are partly losing, because not everything is gone. So that's what Arjuna was feeling in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He was foreseeing that he is going to lose all these relatives, because they're all standing there, ready to give their life. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe priya kartum chikirshava. They are standing there to please the Durbuddhi son of Dhritarashtra. So of course, doing good to him, to please him, in the process they are going to lose their life. So when he was seeing them as Durbuddhi, Dhritarashtra's son, then it was no problem. But later on his mind changed, then he started seeing them as his relatives, bandhus. So then he started fearing. Because when you see somebody as your enemy, that person dies, you feel happy. But if you see the same person as your friend or relative and he dies, then you feel pain, or you think he can die, then you feel fear. So this is the Mrityu Vyala. Vyala means snake. So death is shown here in the form of a snake. So as everyone fears snake, why we fear snake? The snake can bring death. Otherwise, snake does not have hands or legs. Nothing. He only has one mouth. Doesn't have feathers. There is nothing else. But it's so fearful. It's amazing how much. Imagine if snake had hands and legs. How fearful that will be. Doesn't have anything, just a long stick. But you see, in 10 feet away you jump. So this is the Mrityu Vyala. This is the snake of death. And as you see a snake, you run away from that. You don't go and catch it. So therefore it says Palayan. So Martyo, the mortal being, he is running to avoid the death snake. But death snake is everywhere. So where are you going to run? So therefore he never found any place where he felt safe. So Lokan Sarvan Nirbhayam Nadhya Gacchati. He went all over like Durvasa Muni. When Durvasa was chased by Sudarshan Chakra, he ran everywhere. But wherever he went, everybody told him to go away like he's a corona patient. Right? Nobody wanted him. So therefore he did not get nirbhaya. He did not become free from fear. So exactly like that, everyone is running around and everyone has some fear. Nobody is completely free from fear. There is some fear lurking. So he says, Sarvan Nirbhayam Nadhya Gachat. But there is one place where this snake does not come. And that says, Tvat Padabjam Prapya Dricha Adya Swastha Sete Mrityurasmadapaiti. So today, Yadrichaya, by grace, he has attained your lotus feet. And therefore he is swastha, he is healthy and he is sleeping. Because he ran so much, now he is tired. So finally he is sleeping. And Mrityu Rasmadapaiti, the death runs away from him. So this is the solution for fear. So bhayam dutya vineshta syad ishadapetasya. So the fear is because we are ishadapeta. We have removed ourselves from Isha. We have gone away from Isha. So if you come back to him, then no more fear.
Avaji, what is Yadriksha? Is it the same as Kripa?
Yadriksha means grace of devotee. Yadriksha is an avyaya, indeclinable word also, but here it is not that. Yadriksha. So Yadriksha means grace of Krishna, grace of God, or grace of devotee. Because that is the only way you come to Krishna. You don't come by yourself. Right? We know that only by the devotee's grace one reaches sadhu sangha. Satsange nahi daitaya. So Yadriksha means satsanga. So Tvatcharanashritopi nirbhaya. So he becomes fearless by taking shelter of your feet. Kimutvamiti. Then what to speak of you? How fearless you must be. Because he is talking about Krishna. That if a person becomes fearless just by taking your shelter, then certainly you are absolutely fearless. So marteti sarvan lokan prati palayan nirbhayam bhaya bhavam na prapya. So people are running everywhere, but wherever you go, death will follow you. Right? So mrityu janvatam vira dehena sahajayate. So adya abd satante va mrityu vai praninam dhruvam. So death is born with us. Death is our twin sister. So wherever we go, goes like twins like to be together. So generally twins separate when they grow up, become adult. But in childhood they like to be together, twins. So the death does not leave us. So death is born when we were born. And she follows like shadow wherever you go. So no matter how much you run, you cannot run away from your shadow. Right? So Sarvan Lokan Palayan went everywhere. Wherever you go, your shadow is with you. Unless you come directly under the light. That's the only way to get rid of the shadow. So when you come under Krishna's feet, then there is no shadow, then there is no fear. So he says this, that Sarvan Lokan Prati Palayan Nirbhyam Bhaya Bhavam Na Prata. So if you fear from your shadow, then how can one get rid of it? So yadrichya mahet kripa labdha bhaktya ityartha. So he comments on this word which you are asking, yadrichya. What yadrichya means? So yadrichya mahet kripa. Yadrichya means which is not an outcome of our own effort or our own karma or anything like that. The kripa of mahat, kripa of a devotee is not an outcome of some pious deed. It is independent. So therefore it says yadrichika. Yadrichika means by their own will it happens. So mahat kripa labdha bhaktya. And then what does it really mean? That you get the kripa and then you take to bhakti. Because then only you will take shelter of Krishna. So therefore yadrichya means here bhakti. You can give the mic back. There is one behind you.
I'd just like to ask one question about the word yadricha. Is it coming from reach dhatu etymologically?
No, it's a nipata.
It's what, sir?
There are certain words which are ready-made. So it's a ready-made word. Just like you have api, eva, cha, kintu. No, kintu is kim plus tu, but still kim. So these are words which do not really come from dhatus. Sometimes it is made from yadrik ichha. Yadricha.
I was thinking if it was from reach dhatu, and then yad was like the pronoun, it would mean like what is coming of its own self, like what comes of its own accord.
But what is rich?
Rich means to go or to move, I believe, as a dhatu. Like yatra shantim richtati, that rich.
Richati, okay. But no, I have not. I don't think so. It's one word in rich.
Babaji.
Yes.
Here in Sarvan Lokan Prati, it's a palayan instead of palayan.
Where? Where is palayan?
Vishwanath commentary. Sarvan Prati palayan nirbhayam.
No, it is palayan. Must be printing mistake.
Okay.
Palayan. Palayan is not. That's a mistake. So tvatpadameva abjam dhanvantrim prapya. So now he brings a very special meaning of the word abja. So Abja, generally the most common meaning of Abja is lotus. It's a Rudhi, Yoga Rudhi you can say, like Pankaja. So up and Ja. Up means water. Ja means born. Water, literally it means water born. But there are so many things which are water born, but it's commonly used for lotus. But it has other meanings also. And it says one of the meaning of Abja is Dhanvantari. So if you have Dhanvantari, then he can cure you from the snake bite. There are mantras also to remove the snake poison. There are also mantras so that the snake will not bite you. Right? So he says that Abja, the feet are Abja, and Abja here means Dhanvantari. So Abjo Stri Shankhe Na Nichule Dhanvantaro Cha Himakiranaiti Medani. According to Medani dictionary, Sanskrit dictionary, so the word Abja also means conch. It also means Nichula. Nichula is a type of reed which grows in water. And Dhanvantari and Himakarana.
To explain what Himakarana?
Hima means ice.
Snowmaker or what?
Ice.
It's a fridge? Or?
Himalaya means light reflecting from ice. Cold.
Oh.
Cold ray.
I see.
So this is very.
Because it's cooling also. The lotus you mentioned there.
So he Adya. So Tvat Padavjo Prapi Yadrichya. So Yadrichya Adya, it can mean Adya, means it is addressed to him, the original one, or it can mean Adya, today, now, that now he is. So he takes it as Adya. Tena tvad bhaktapi tvaya matritvena svikritapi kamsadapi kevalam ahameva mahabhaya vihula iti bhava. So she is saying that I am your devotee, means I am also under your shelter, and I am your mother, and still I am fearing. How is this? So she is contradicting her own prayers. That's what she is saying. So she says, Martya Mirtival Bhita Palayan, that he is finding peace after getting shelter of your feet. But I am also your devotee, so why it's not happening to me? That's the implied sense. That I should also be peaceful. So then he says that Swatam Ghoradugra Senatmajan Nastrahi Trastan Bhritya Vitrasahasi Rupam Chaidam Paurusham Dhyana Dishanyam Ma Prataksham Mam Sadrisha Krashisthaha. So he says that you please protect us from the terrible son of Ugrasena. Ghorat Ugrasenatmajat Nastrahi. Protect us from this terrible Kamsa, son of Ugrasena. Trastan Bhritya Vitrasahasi. Because you or the remover of the fear of those who are fearful, your servants. Rupam chaidam paurusham dhyan ma prataksham mams drisham krishishta. And this Paurusha Rupa, your Rupa Purusha, which is Dhyan Dishanyam, the object of meditation, do not make it available to those who have material eyes, Mams Drisha. So in other words, he is saying that you close this four-handed form, become small baby and protect us. And that's what she is praying. Swatvam tvadiyascha nirbhaya. You are fearless, those who are your devotees, they are fearless. Katham avam eva mahabhyagrasto karoshi. So why is that two of us are in fear? I and my husband Vasudeva. Satvamiti ghorat Mahabhishnatvam. So Ghora means terrible, Kamsa. Ugra iti pita nogra sena cha nogra kintu atmajaya ugra iti. So he is son of Ugra Sena. Ugra means actually terrible. And Sena means army. So he says that Kamsa's father is not terrible. And the army is also not terrible, only the son is terrible. So his name is Ugrasena, but he is not Ugra. Nor is his army, but son is. So give us protection. That's why he is saying Ugrasena Atmajata. It is the son who should have been Ugrasena, not the father. So pita nogra sena cha nogra kintu atmajaya ugra iti bhayenaiva sakshat sakshat tannam grahanam tannam agrahanam. So he says that Kamsa is so terrible that out of fear she is not taking her name, his name. Therefore she is referring him as son of Ugrasena. Even to take the name of Kamsa is fear comes. When you fear somebody, the name is also terrifying. Kincha bhrityanam vividham trasam hansi pitroravyo kim tam bhayam naharsiti bhava. So you are bhritya vitrasaha, that you are the dispeller of the fear of your servants. So why is that you are not removing our fear? So then Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti comments as if Krishna is speaking. Bho mataha kamsadi vadharthameva avtirno asmi ayatu kamsaha tamadhunaev vadhisyami chakshubhyam pashyati tadukti mashanki. So as if Krishna is saying that, oh mother, I have appeared here to kill Kamsa and let him come. I will kill him right in front of your eyes. Don't fear. So why are you fearing? So as if he would say something like this, Vardhishnuna putra bhavena tasmat kamsavada sambhaviyanti pratyut kamsadeva tadanishtam ashankamana mahabhay kampita sarvangi hanta hanta parmeshwaratvad ahankarvati putra asmin bhedade upaya na ghatamte iti yata samnaye sakrityam sadhyami iti mansi vimrishya tadrupam sambharayitum yukti antaram uthapayati rupamiti. So then Devaki is thinking that when she hears her putra bhav, the feeling of son became very intense, and therefore she was contemplating that Kamsa can come and kill him, and not that he will kill, Krishna will kill him. So therefore she became very fearful, and her whole body was shaking out of fear. And then she is thinking, Hanta Hanta, alas, alas, this fellow has too much ego of being Parameshwara. Parameshwara Ahankara. So, therefore, I cannot just put sense into his head that he is my son. And listen to me. So he says that this is not working. Therefore, now I have to use another technique. Sam, Dan, Dand, Bheda. So Bheda is not working. So I'm going to use Sam. Samna eva Swakrityam sadhyami. That I will achieve my goal by the process of Sam, friendly manner. So Mansi Vimrishya, thinking like this, Tadrupam upsamharayitum yukti antaram utthapyati. So she is using another means to make him close his four-handed form, unmanifest. So Paurusham Ashwaram Dhyandashanyam Dhyanaspadam. So he says that this form is the form of Ishvara, of meditation, and this should not become available to the people who have material vision. Mas drisham, mas chakshunam, pratyaksham makritha. So that's the prayer she had.
Can you repeat again? I didn't catch it completely. Why she tells him to disclose, or I mean not disclose, but to to kind of make disappear his Purusha Rupa. I remember that we had this discussion in Krishna Sandarbha recently, where Jiva Goswami explained how she feels shy, or that.
Yeah, there he says that people will make fun of me.
Yeah. And here Shri Vishwanath, how does he explain this here?
No, he just saying, he didn't explain anything. He's just saying that she wants him to do it, but why she wants, he had not explained that.
Okay.
Says he uses this technique of Kamsa is coming, this will come, all that, here, this, change this. Now says, please let it not be seen by materialistic people. But he didn't say much about why she wants to do that.
Okay.
Earlier he said that out of fear of Kamsa, that he will know that he is Krishna and he will attack him. That's the only thing he said.
But then you mentioned that this seems to be a little bit contradictory to her own prayer, where she's praising him. So is this a technique of which kind of or maybe an anubhava of a devotee who wants always more bhakti, that she says that you grant you grant fearlessness, and look, we are your parents and we have some fear, please give us more of your grace.
No, she already has more of grace, that's why she is feeling fearful. I already said that this fear is coming because of affection for Krishna.
Okay.
It's not a material fear. So because she has so much love for Krishna that even though Krishna is standing there in his Paurusha form, still she is fearing, he is my son. That's the meaning.
Okay, so it's not like sometimes I think that there are a couple of prayers, a couple of kirtans like that, where the author says something like, or praises Krishna that he is so great and he saves everyone, so therefore you should save me now, because I'm so fallen or whatever, but this is here not the case, no?
Yeah, but that feeling is coming because of, not that she is fearing her own death.
Yes.
This is coming because she is fearing his death.
Yeah.
People are praying to Krishna because they fear their own death. So this is the distinction. So she is not afraid of her own. That's why it says that you are removing everybody's fear, but you are not removing our fear. But what is their fear? Their fear is that Kamsa will come and kill him.
Okay, yeah.
Anything else?
Yes. So yesterday you mentioned that Sridhar Swami, he gives this commentary on the verse number 24, where he explains it with the different darshanas and so on. Maybe if we have time, maybe tomorrow, could you maybe read it? I would be interested.
Yeah, I thought of reading, but we can read. It's based on philosophy. It's quite philosophical, so that's why I thought
Okay.
most people may not like that. We can read it tomorrow. All right. Anything else?